Hello and welcome to today's episode of Beyond the Pedal. Today I have the this job that I'm doing with the Army and this journey, I'm here at the Williams F1 Experience Centre in the eSports Suite, doing a little bit of e-racing, sim comparison of like how the professionals do it, how the amateurs do it, club sport racing, how it all kind of like comes across. And also just have a bit of a day here at the Williams F1 Experience Centre. This suite is unbelievable. They have got sim racing setups for days. Whether that's a set of Corso, F1 23, moving on to 24. But yeah, so today is all about catching up with the guys from the Army team, talking about how esports and sim racing cuts across and transfers over to the circuit. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm just like a kid in a sweet shop here because I'm at Williams, F1, Silverstone's coming up. Very exciting times. Enjoy. So yeah, here we are having a little bit of a blast on the sims. These are what we got here. I think these are like play seats with Fanatec F1 stuff. It's amazing. Very, very interesting setup. Alex is beating the esports guys. Would you believe it? Alex, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
You love to see it, don't you?
That was a good little battle. There's some good drivers there.
Yeah, that was a good laugh. We got F1 23. F1 23. F1 23, and it's Silverstone, a track favourite for Alex.
Always, when I don't crash there.
I mean, let's not talk about 350Z, but it is what it is. Onward. So, just one of many sim setups here. I'm in the sort of iRacing Assetto Corsa setup, and this is an insane seat. Raised up off the ground, PC's ready to go. I'm going to show you quickly around the three screens and this incredible steering wheel that they've got here. So let me flip you around for a second. Flips it around. There we go. Right, so 1, 2, and yeah, 3 screens with this outrageous steering wheel. I mean, this thing is mental. As you can see, the setup's all here. Really weighted. There's like shifters all around the side, the pedals at the back there, good to go. This is just one of the many. Today, I'm not sure what this is, a Fanatec steering setup, but again, all the dials, the weight of it, a lot different to my Logitech, I will say that. So yeah, so we're gonna have a little bit of a go at this, I think, and see what happens. So so as you've just seen, we've had a bit of a laugh there. Alex, me, and Ted getting amongst these incredible setups. As you can see, there's absolutely loads here at the Williams Esports Suite. But we've been racing, say, on F1 2023 down here, which has been really, really quite cool. So I think what we're going to do is catch up with Alex, who's going to have a go on the setup I've just been speaking about, which was these over here. And he's going to have a quick blast on that and we'll have a little chat with him. So yeah, really cool.
Careful.
Oh God, this is how it starts. This is how it starts.
Triple monitors is an odd one. The excuses coming out already.
Brilliant, classic Alex.
Let me know how.
That's hard brakes.
Right, so we're gonna chat with Alex now while he's in the sim seat. We're supposed to be showing people on the channel that sim racing and the sim setup transfers across to the circuit, and so far not so good.
Corner one was a little bit spicy, but no,
It does translate, funnily enough, as we found out on the F1 simulator. However, first time on this one, all the racing driver excuses, they come in.
A lot of cheating from a certain team principal in the back there, but it's not the point.
Can you hear the sound?
I can.
Oh my
You need
goodness.
so much brake in this.
Honestly, this video has gone from how club sport racing can be like developed through sim racing to an absolute catastrophe.
Are you drunk?
Let's just flip him round.
I'm not even
Look
going to
at
comment.
this.
Hang on. Right, let's get this corner.
Running
Right,
commentary.
okay. The main issue.
You're in fourth gear. What are you doing? This is embarrassing.
All right, hang on. Let's see if we can get one corner before we.
We're like a minute. Oh my! What is going on?
I'm not gonna lie, you're really embarrassing the team right now.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut to the team principal for his talk of sim racing and does it transfer across. I know Alex, who we brought down specifically for this, who has not helped the case, but does it transfer across?
It absolutely should be, but we're not presenting ourselves with that right now. With with Alex not even able to put a corner together, which is interesting to say the least.
So from a team principal perspective, how do you see this being used within the Army Sports Car Racing team and how we go, with all the things that we're planning on doing, how do you see this? Sorry, this is a disaster lap. Disaster lap. And there's your intro bite right there. So how do you see this kind of how do we as the Army Sports Car Racing team use this to kind of better our drivers and, prepare guys for tracks ahead and what we intend to do with the team?
Yeah, so Alex is going around Silverstone GP circuit at the minute. Obviously, our annual race, the 6-hour Hollybucket relay race at the end of the year, is on this layout. So, just being able to get your eye in on the corners, understanding braking points and turning points is all really key for both people that haven't been on this circuit or layout before and people that are very experienced on this layout. There's always more to be gained, and if there's racing going on with other like-minded people on these simulators, then you can see what other people are doing and seeing what's good for them and might work for you. So, time in the seat, whether that's virtual or real life, is time well spent regardless.
Just learning a track.
Yeah. And obviously this is is a much more cheaper way of doing it. Consistently.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You can spend 10 grand on a race car, and you also spend 10 grand on a racing setup, like sim setup, if you want to.
I agree, but you don't need to put fuel or tyres in a racing setup.
No, that's true. Just need electricity to power it, and a bit of space, and an understanding partner.
The last point is definitely the key point in all of those points. But yeah, it's fantastic to come to an opportunity like this today and see what Alex can really do in a simulator.
Which at the moment. Let's cut back.
Questionable.
Yeah, let's cut back to Alex to see how he's getting on. Alex, how are you getting on?
We're getting used to the sim slowly. Obviously, every simulator is slightly different, and the biggest thing is actually the pedal set, more specifically the brake. Mm-hmm. But being able to use such a good simulator like this one is, it translates a lot more to the real thing. And it's actually a little bit of a workout. I'm hoping no beads of sweat are coming down.
Oh, you're sweating, probably because you've got everyone watching, the pressure's on, team principal's right here, you're like coming off the track left, right and centre. It's almost like you're back in the 350Z, isn't it?
Oh, no, because this one's still working.
Fair one. Yes, so there you go. It's transferable, mate, transferable.
Transferable skills.
You'd love to see it. Right, so we're going to talk to a professional. Jack, you work here at Williams. You run the esports side of life?
Yes.
Or kind of one of the events plans and stuff. So again, we're just talking about, like you say, from our sort of like amateur racing level, club sport level, of how it kind of transfers across. How do you guys use this sim racing and esports side for both Williams and the development stuff?
So with the esports team, we are within Williams Racing, but we have a big roster of the drivers. I think about 30 drivers that are paid as their job to drive with Williams in the esports team. So there's a lot. There's also engineers, coaches, dietitians, psychiatrists.
Yep.
There's a whole round
Esports?
everything for esports. That's everything to get as much human performance as we can out of them.
Bit of a difference.
So yeah, it's really.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool project to be a part of. There are links to the real world team as well, but mainly what we use it is for training the drivers in the sim.
Yep.
I myself am able to, I've got the opportunity to drive in real life, and I still very much use a simulator. And what we can do is not only drive better, learn the lines, learn all the nuances, go through your own psyche and think about how you would mentally do a race. How do you think about going quickly? How do you think about racing a car? But also going through the engineering side of things. When you can make the jump to, with our engineers that we have in the team, but also helping the drivers, and the drivers often engineer the cars themselves in terms of setup.
Wow.
Not only because the games have gimmicks, but most of the time in, like, say, iRacing and ACC, the changes are near enough one-to-one to real life.
That's
if you
incredible.
change a spring, if you change a damper, if you change your ride height, it will affect the car in the same way in the game as you will in real life too. So when I made my own jump to real life, I'm telling my mechanics and my team how I want the car set up. Not only because I know how the car feels from the video game, but also know what to change themselves. Whether it's springs, whether it's dampers or ride heights. So
and have they found, again, so obviously in comparison to, say, like our level of racing, in comparison to, say, like the next tier, like, well, I say next tier, but the higher tiers up, is it that one-to-one? Is it that literally, like, those changes are almost near and identical to the track, to the sim?
So there's always, the setup will change every single track, and the actual setup in game you won't be able to physically put onto the real life car because there will be changes. But naturally, whether it's club racing with BMWs or MX-5s, or whether it's a Formula racing in Formula 2, Formula 3 to Formula 2, even Formula 1, depending on how accurate the model is, what the things do will still do the same things, even if the number is different.
Wow.
So if you're changing a heave spring or ride height or wing angle, the logic of where that applies to the car, whether it's high speed, low speed, entry, exit, you can learn that all through through the sim as well, through logic of engineering, not only through the game, but you can export the data from the game into the real world software that we use the same as real life, which Motec is what we use most of the time, and you can analyze it, look identically to that. When I was engineering in real life last year for Euro Cup 3, I didn't find any difference to what I did in the sim.
That is wild. That is wild.
Did exactly the same thing.
Wow. Right, quickly, can you talk us through what this is all over here? Right, I'm going to flip you guys around because Jack's going to show us around what we've been racing on.
So this is the esports lounge. This is a thing we use for clients and events and public, and even on race days, so the public can come here to have a go in racing on the simulators. This gives you an idea of what racing at Williams is like, or racing as part of the esports team is like, but also an idea of what the F1 cars are like, because we use the F1 23 games, I think, as mentioned earlier. The sims themselves, they are F1 seating positions, so your bottom is low, your feet is high. We can make them comfortable for you, so it's a little bit easier to getting in and out than, say, a real life F1 car, because there's nothing either side. But we have the wheelbase, the wheel, and the pedals. This is about 8 Newton meters force, so the guys over there are on about 20, so a lot heavier than that. The, say, a real life F1 car would probably sit around 12 to 15, depending on what the driver wants. Don't quote me on that. That's just going off what I've heard going around. So it gives you a really good sense of what it's like to drive heavily. The brake pedal's about 30 kilograms of force, so a lot heavier than your road car. About a quarter of what the F1 drivers do in real life. Wow. Obviously, in real life you have G-force throwing yourself on the pedal as well, so you have some differences there, but again, it gives you that sensation. Headphones, they weren't talking to each other earlier today because I think it might get a bit loud, but we can have you talking to and from the pit wall over there as well, because this is the 2015 pit wall that went around the world of Williams. And we now run the simulators and the events from it, even to the point where you can see over in the corner where people can sit on the sofas and they can watch the racing that each of these guys are doing as well.
That is wild. So that is an actual pit wall.
Yes.
For that's amazing.
That's it's really cool. So it's all those little bits of details, because we have some of the esports trophies, some of the real life trophies in here as well. So it gives that sort of sense of environment for people when they come here on the race days, or as corporates, or as like yourselves, to get a sense of what Williams is, because Williams now, as I said, a lot more than just an F1 team. To the point in which how close esports is, we even have basically the same trophy as those that won the 24 hours of Le Mans did in real life for the virtual one, because it's that supported that closely.
That is insane, mate. Well, thank you very much, Jack. I think, yeah, that's wild. Thank you so much for your time, and again, thank you for supporting this day. Awesome work. Thanks, Jack. Cheers.
Cool, perfect.
So yes, this is the esports suite, as we've seen. I think I'm being called. No, I'm not. I think is that Ted on there? Is it? It's got to be Ted in there. We're gonna have to go and catch Ted in just a second, see how he's getting on. But yes, we're in the esports suite. Like I say, great to catch Jack then and learn all about the setup, what they've got in here, what they do, and how they do drivers. Really cool bit in here, as he said. They can watch in this really cool lounge area. You've got an actual pit wall in here, as Jack was saying there. Incredible. But what's really, really cool is I'm gonna have to flip it around for you, because we've got like some helmets from some of the greats. We've got Mark Webber in here. We've got Nico Rosberg there, Nick Heidfeld, Juan Pablo Montoya, Jenson Button, Ralph Schumacher, George Russell, Logan Sargent's there, Alex Albon with his 2023 helmet on. Personal favourite of mine, we've got David Coulthard's helmet, and of course the absolute legend that is Martin Brundle, his helmet there. But some really cool helmets from the ages there. So yes, as you can imagine, really, really cool to be here. But it still continues. We're gonna have to go a bit further on, because it still continues. So we've got more sim racing setup, but this is what I really want to show you guys. This is wild. This is easily the biggest scale electric track I have ever seen. Check this out. Let's flip you around and show you. Look at this thing. How wild is that? It's got, like, you know, you've got a classic pit crew in there, cars throughout the ages, stands, lots of different scale electric cars. This track is absolutely wild. A little marina, helicopters, there's some Spitfires up in the top. This is absolutely wild. So yes, what an absolutely incredible esports suite, and yeah, just brilliant. We have the team principal racing away. How is he getting on, Alex? Okay, so obviously I know we were joking around on the last one. Hang on 2 seconds, I'm going to flip you over. Hang on. So yes, as we were saying, coming off that sim, this one, the difference between the one we were goofing on earlier on, the 2023 one, to this, like lots of like next level setup. How was it?
Yeah, this setup is quite phenomenal actually. You know, the biggest thing is the pedal box. I briefly mentioned it before, but getting that sort of proper feel in the brakes and actually having to sort of tense your body is really great to sort of practice and feel. And then the triple monitor setup, I've never done that before, so it's enforcing your gaze to turn and look ahead of the track. So it's, you know, correlating to the real thing. It's awesome, and Dan's also bad at this, so it really is. It really is accurate.
In all fairness, we will flip it round and we'll just see how the team principal's getting on. He's flying around. He doesn't look too happy, but you know, we'll get him anyway. He's living his best life. Here he is on the circuit, living his best life around Silverstone. How you finding it, team principal?
The braking is fun on this, that's for sure. I think it's got a 100 kilo pedal or something, I think they said.
Well, we can literally see the beads of sweat pouring off you.
Cool as a cucumber, mate.
In all fairness, I am aware that when I get on this in a second, I intend to be destroyed and tasted my own medicine. But how does it feel?
It's actually really good, to be fair. I've not really driven a sim of this quality before, and it is night and day difference between your sort of middle to good standard sim you might have at home. It's definitely more of a workout, that's 100% for sure. More torque through the steering wheel, just the brake pedal is heavy as hell, and yeah, the dynamics of the way the car moves is really good as well. Really quality training, to be fair, outside of the the fun that we're having, because we're all a bit rusty in various areas. It is really, really good training. So yeah, looking forward to seeing if we can pick up a bit more speed as we get a bit more confidence, maybe.
Alex, how's he getting on?
He's doing all right, to be fair. You know, he's what? Not 8 seconds.
Old dog's got some tricks here.
8 seconds to gain, but you know, you've only done a couple laps. I tell you what's really interesting is looking at the esports drivers, some of the better ones, and some of the better real life drivers. We're matching times pretty well, so it's really great to see the correlation.
What I will say is Alex was beating a lot of the esports guys. I will be honest, on what could be argued their bread and butter game, just throwing it out there.
I told you, he used to be a semi-professional sim racer.
Did he
And
really?
That's a serious bit as well, not a fake one.
Whoa, hang on, that's hot off
Again,
the press.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
Well,
There we go.
you have been exposed, sir.
Him and Lando are buddies.
So we hear. Lando, if you... Well, hang on. Hang on.
Oh,
Williams. All our loyalties lie here. So yes, any of you say, mate, how's he getting on?
No, he's doing well. He's doing well. You're picking up the sim quite well, Dan. It really is. The sim, every sim is different. There are so many sims out there. So taking the time to learn the sim, then learn the track, learn the kart, how to drive the pedals. It's a lot to learn in one. But actually, the racecraft's there. As an ex-racer, Dan, you should be there. So you're picking up speed well.
There you go. There you go. Well, that concludes another episode of Beyond the Pedal, and honestly, possibly one of my best experiences yet to be here at Williams F1 Experience Centre and the Esports Centre, and seeing this, the FW36 in its iconic Martini racing livery. How about coming to see that every day when you're coming into work? What an experience, and what an incredible esports lounge. A huge thank you to the Williams Esports team for hosting today, getting the army coming down and doing some bits and pieces. It's been incredible catching up with Will, Adam, Jack, and of course catching up with the team as well, giving Alex and Ted a load of grief. It's all part of it. But yes, what a day it has been. Hopefully guys, you've enjoyed today's episode and you've got to see behind the curtain a little bit of the esports team here with Williams. Anyway, that's of me rambling on as always. Signing off for now. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.